Okay, so tonight's video is going to focus on the 2-digit times 2-digit, and just now realize that you do not have to, if you have this page, this side over here is the same as this side over here. So this part here you do not have to worry about to help you. So right here, this is working on decomposing a number, so breaking it apart, showing the value that each place has, and then making our area model, which is the box method, and placing our numbers in. And so I'm going to walk you through this. Then there are a couple other strategies that we did look at and focus on, so I will show you those as well. Then the rest of the pages in the packet are practice. If you like the area model, here's a practice for you, and that gives you the numbers, gives you parts, and then you fill in the rest. Great way to practice knowing what to place for your box method, but also what to multiply. Then the last couple pages are more practice for the strategy that works for you. Okay, so let's start here. All of the ways that we did learn do involve pulling our numbers apart and multiplying that way. So if we have 23, we are looking at 20 plus 3 for 23, since there's a 2 in the tens. And then for 46, we're looking at 40 plus 6. Since there's a 4 in the tens place, 6 in the ones place. So now pay close attention to where I place these four numbers. The key thing is we want to make sure that we place the numbers that are showing the value of one set of numbers on the same line, okay? And then we will multiply them. So we'll start with 20 plus 3 that go with 23 to represent the number 23. The 20 goes first, the tens place gets placed first, then the ones place is placed at the end of the line, 20 plus 3. We're going to put 40 plus 6, which represents the 46, along the side here. So 40 and 6. And what we're going to do is multiply each piece by piece. The biggest part that I've noticed that students you might be struggling with are the facts that are represented here and trying to figure it out from there. The biggest thing that you need to make sure you do remember is you will not multiply anything like that is side by side on the same line, because that number is chunked together. What we are multiplying is 23 by 46. So it's like putting 23 into 46 groups. How many will be in the all together at the end? Okay? That means that we will never do 20 times 3. We will never do 40 times 6 because they are within the same number. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do one box at a time. So for this big box, the first box in the upper left corner, we are doing 20 times 40. 20 times 40. And I'm also going to write that down here, just so you can see it another way. And to help me solve this, you could do the 2 times the 4, which gives you 8. There are 2 zeros behind both of the numbers together, so it would be 800. A way to check this, a way to know that this works. Well, you could make 20 groups. Okay? There's 10. You place 40 in each one. That would be the easiest way to figure this out if you weren't sure. Add 40 20 times. That is the biggest way to know. The big thing to remember is you've got 2 sets of 10 in here. 4 sets of 10 in here. Multiplying each piece. You'll have 800 in the end. Okay, let's go to our next box, which is this one over here. So for this box, the last upper left box, the last upper box up here, we're going to do 3 times 40. 3 times 40. And I'll write that down here. 3 times 40. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. 1, 0. And what you could do to help you is you could have 3 groups, put 40 in each. What will that equal out in the end? 120. All right, let's fill in our bottom 2 boxes here. For this bottom left box, we are doing 20 times 6. 20 times 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, with 1 0 represented, 1 0 behind. What could you do to help you? Draw 6 groups, put 20 in each. 6. Add 20 6 times. When you add up those 20s, you will get 120. The final box here is 3 times 6. 3 times 6. And 3 times 6 is 18. Okay, let's catch up down here. We had 20 times 6. We had 3 times 6. And then we found 800, 120, another 120, and 18. And what do we do with those? We add them all up. So we end up with 8 in the ones place, 5 in the tens, and 8 plus 1 would be 10, so 1,058 would be the final product. So, what are the other ways? They look very similar. Other than a box, you can do other ways that would be similar that are similar to it. You're still breaking the numbers down, breaking them apart. So, we'll take 23 times 46, since we already know what that product will be, to represent the other ways. So 23 times 46, I'm going to break it up. We have 20 plus 3 times 40 plus 6. And what you need to make sure you do is multiply 20 times 40 and 20 times 6. You have to multiply the tens place by both places of your second number. So that would be 20 times 40 and 20 times 6. And 20 times 40 was 800, and 20 times 6, 120. Now we're going to do the second number. We need to multiply the 3 by these two numbers on the other side of that multiplication sign. We need to multiply the 3 by the tens place, multiply the 3 by the ones place. So we're doing 3 times 40 and 3 times 6. 3 times 40 equaled out to be 120. 3 times 6 equaled out to be 18. And we add those numbers all up. And when we add those up, we end up with the same product that we had in the first place. So it doesn't involve a box, but some of you need the box in order to think out what to multiply. Some of you don't need the box, and you like it just written out, and that would be this way. The other way to do it is by doing partial products. So we have 23 times 46. And we're going to do piece by piece. We're going to do 6 times 3 and 6 times 20. 6 times 3 equals 18. 6 times 20 equals 120. And now we're going to move to the 40. We're going to do 40 times 3 and 40 times 20. 40 times 3 is 120, and 40 times 20 was 800. And we add up all of those partial products. It will equal out to be 1,058. So there's 3 strategies, ladies and gentlemen, that we did learn together with 2-digit times 2-digit. If you need to get some practice in before you retake your test tomorrow, please stop and see me in the morning when you walk in. So get some practice tonight, be ready to retake your test so that you can learn from the mistakes that you made. All right, see you tomorrow.